Senator Bernie Sanders said he will introduce legislation in the coming weeks to give the federal government a 50% ownership stake in the largest American artificial intelligence companies, financed not by a tax, but by a one-time levy paid in the firm's own stock. Sanders calls the proposal the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund Act, and has identified OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI as companies that will be affected, with the transferred equity routed into a federally managed fund whose proceeds will support direct payments to Americans. The mechanism is unusual. Rather than draw from corporate earnings, the bill will require the affected firms to transfer half of their outstanding shares to the federal government in a single transaction. The federal government would then receive voting rights and an equal representation on each company's boards, which Sanders said would allow it to block decisions that hurt our citizens and to push for policies that help them. Sanders framed the proposal as restitution. AI systems, he argued, were built on training data drawn from generations of public creative and intellectual work. He said since AI is built on the collective knowledge of humanity, the wealth it generates must benefit humanities. He said this in a video posted to X, naming Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Larry Ellison as beneficiaries of what he called a wealth extracting machine. The time has come to reclaim what was stolen from us. He cast the bill as a fork in the road for AI policy, a choice between billionaire control and public stewardship. The question is not whether AI will change the world. It will, Sanders said. The question is who will own and control that future. The fund's proceeds, which Sanders said could reach billions, if not trillions, would finance direct cash payments and help guarantee healthcare, education, and housing as human rights. Sanders cited existing sovereign wealth funds as models for his proposal. Norway's oil-financed sovereign wealth funds holds more than $2 trillion. Alaska has paid annual dividends to residents from its oil revenue fund for half a century. President Donald Trump has directed his administration through an executive order to plan a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Sanders also noted that OpenAI has proposed a public wealth fund that would give citizens a stake in AI growth, and that Anthropic has proposed national sovereign wealth funds with AI holdings. The proposal faces an uphill battle in Congress. Democrats hold a minority in both chambers, and Sanders' Artificial Intelligence Data Center Moratorium Act, introduced in March, has drawn no Senate co-sponsors. Sanders acknowledged that putting the federal government in partial control of firms whose AI operations represent only part of their business is complicated, and said specifics on spending priorities and implementation will be included in the bill text. Analysts said the immediate effect could be reputational. OpenAI, Anthropic, and xAI are in the midst of multi-billion-dollar funding rounds, and a sitting senator publicly arguing that half their equity should belong to the public could complicate those efforts.